Good morning. It's Bo. It is the last day before Casey arrives home. I'm so happy. I can't believe I've done it. Um, yeah, I'm so excited to see them tomorrow, and it's really early tomorrow morning as well, so I'm like super happy. So yeah. Um, I wanted to do this little video because I watched Wynn's video this morning about OCD, and it's it's OCD Awareness Week, so I wanted to talk about it a little bit. Really, I want to pretense this whole video with I've not been diagnosed with OCD. I am in the process. I've been going to doctors for years about it, but they don't really want to diagnose me with anything. It took me years to get my depression diagnosis. I was only diagnosed with depression at 21. So they were, yeah. And you all guys know my diagnosis when it comes to my DID as well. So like, I really just fuck diagnosis. Anyway, I wanted to talk about my experience with it, I guess, because Wynn makes a very good point in her video about how it's not always I'm just so clean, I like my desk organized, I'm so OCD, blah blah blah, you know. And it used to drive me mad because I'm obviously very much in the process of trying to get a diagnosis of OCD, and a very specific branch of OCD as well. And there was a girl in my college who just 1 year just spontaneously was like, oh, I love organizing things, oh, I'm so OCD, oh, I can't. And she'd start playing up about like she had to have sweets in even numbers and blah 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 blah, and like she really wanted OCD, and she would it was just like I was sat there like, I don't want this. I really, really don't want this. I'd much rather spend my time in much better ways than doing all of these stupid little compulsions and these little things that I have to do. And, you know, and like, my house is not clean. My house is never clean. My room was never clean at home. I've never been a cleanly freak person. I don't obsessively wash my hands. I don't obsessively clean, scrub all of my sides. I don't get freaked out by dust. And I know there are people with OCD that do, but that's only one branch of OCD. That there are many, many subtypes of OCD, and that is just one. Yet that's the OCD that everyone seems to know. Like, for years and years, I've had such awful thoughts come into my brain about really awful things, really bad, intrusive thoughts, and that I thought I was a horrible person. I've had some awful thoughts, like the easiest way I can say this, it's like, because my grandparents are foster children, we have a lot of children around all the time, and as a kid they just left me with them, with the baby, and I was like, I'd be however old I was, and I would just get these awful intrusive thoughts of I could do anything to this kid. I could drown this kid in the bath. They've trusted me to bath this baby. I'm 10 years old. I could purposely drown this baby. I could pick it up by its feet and shake it. I could do anything. And that used to pop into my brain so much, and I felt like the most disgusting human, thinking, oh my god, why would I ever do that to a baby? A baby, it's so precious. I protect, you know? But just that thought in your brain of you could do anything. You could kill that. You could abuse that. You could throw it out the window. You could do anything, you know? Like, that's one of the things that people don't get with OCD, is it's not just the compulsions, it's the thoughts. It's the, have you checked the door? Have you checked the door? Have you checked the door? Is the oven off? Have you checked the door? Have you checked the door? I check the door to my front door to check if it's locked about 8 times a night, even though I know it's locked. Like, oh, I've got quite a lot of the symptoms. But I don't want to go too much into it, to be honest. It's very debilitating, and it has been my whole life. I do want to talk about it at some point on this channel properly, but I'm not sure when. But like, another branch of OCD is hoarding, which I didn't know was that. But I obsessively keep things. I obsessively hoard things. I keep every little scrap of everything just in case I need it, in case I need it. I get such panic attacks over my possessions being broken and my things being lost. I have so much stuff that it doesn't fit in our flat at this point, you know, because I just hoard it and I can't let go of it. And I feel like something's gonna go wrong if I do let go of it, you know. Yeah, I wanted to just make this little video about like OCD isn't clean and all proper, and I organise my room, all everything's got to be all perfect, you know. My OCD forms in very different ways to that, you know. And it's like another one of mine. One of my compulsions is counting things and listing things. I'd get this overwhelming rush of anxiety that something's missing, and I would count everything of that thing that I own, or list it. I've got so many lists from when I was a teenager, from when it was so bad, from when I would list songs on my phone, photos on my phone. I would list what badges I had, what clothes I had, what teddies I had, what dolls I had, just to make sure that I knew where everything was and where, because if I lost something, then I would panic. So I'd spend hours creating these lists and counting things and making sure that I had everything. And, you know, and it's strange when you have OCD and you have DID, because my OCD overrides most of my DID symptoms. Lots of the alters seem to have my OCD symptoms as well. They because they're so intrusive into your brain that it just floods the inner world. So whoever is out also feels these nagging compulsions, you know, and these nagging, you've got to do this, you've got to do this, check the door, do that, you know. And like now, when it got really bad last year and 8 split off to take a lot of my OCD symptoms away from me. Like, my OCD is a lot better than it was. as a teenager especially. You know, the main branch I have, that hasn't eased. And I'm going to talk about that later. But this, because I have one main type, and then I have lots of other little symptoms and things, you know, other little compulsions and things. So, yeah, they've eased a lot more. You know, I used to count a lot numbers and numerical things, and this is obviously why 8 is called 8. Numbers just is what started, well, not what started it, but like is one of the main things that I would do. Every day I'd walk to school. I would count the amount of stained glass windows on the way to school when I was like 5 or 6. And I'd panic if I'd missed one, and I'd have to go back and start again and make sure I'd count every single stained glass window that we saw on the way to school. You know, and I'm like 5 or 6 at this point. So, yeah, 8 has really taken on a lot of those irrational numerical OCD traits I had. Lots of the counting, lots of the listing, lots of the shapes. I would draw a lot of shapes to soothe my OCD, lots of symmetrical shapes. I draw lots of tesselects, which is just a shape that is repeated and interlocks. So houndstooth is a type of tessellect. Houndstooth, the print, is a type of tessellect. Yeah. I would draw those just for hours and hours because seeing all of the parallel lines and the perfect shapes just soothed it so much, you know. So yeah, she's taken on a lot of the numerical and visual and kind of mathematical side of my OCD, and then I've just still got all the annoying little irrational ones, you know, and obviously the main branch. But yeah, one of the things that I would do would I'd tap a beat and I would count to 8 like a music beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then that would just get that grid back in my brain, get that organized in my brain, you know. If my brain was just too loud and too noisy from voices or whatever, you know, I would just drown it out with that regimented soldier-esque, I guess, you know. It's that boom boom and everyone's all like someone just comes along and they're like boom 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 boom, everyone's gonna be like, okay, boom 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 boom, we'll hit to the beat. Because yeah, this has been random and rambly, but yeah, happy OCD awareness week, guys. Unclean, gross people with OCD exist too. We're not all germaphobes. You can be a germaphobe and not have OCD. You can have OCD and not be a germaphobe. Let's break those OCD stigmas. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go. Bye. Happy OCD awareness week, guys.